All right, here we go with the Commonwealth and France turn on Operation Torchlight. This is January 1944, and we will start with, I don't think there's any corrections to make. Excuse my pile of dead stuff and updating stuff, but I don't think there's any corrections to make, so let's jump right into the turn here for the tech roll. Yeah. So first we got the UK. They're going for long-range aircraft, improved factories, and improved construction. All of them 7 or higher. Long-range aircraft trying to get to stage 3. That's a 5. That's a fail. Improved factories trying to get to stage 3. That's a 9. That one is good. So we do get to stage 3 on that one. And then improved construction trying to just start it at stage 1. That's a 12. We get that one as well. So 2 out of 3, not bad. All right, let's look at the purchases. And like I said, sorry for the stuff everywhere. But all right, so first off for the UK, they're going to spend $4 on a militia and a militia upgrade. They're going to spend $6 on 2 paratroopers. They're going to spend $10 on an artillery lend-leasing to the French and 2 infantry. And then they're going to spend $15 on 5 more infantry. The Far East Command is going to lend-lease a medium bomber to the KMT for 11. They're also going to buy an infantry upgrade and another militia. They're going to upgrade an infantry to a motorized. And they're going to lend-lease a fighter to the USA. They still have $3 left over with not much to use it for, so we'll just save it for next round. I guess that was one correction that was pointed out. I guess it was decided that all of the Dutch East Indies Islands have to go to the Far East Command, and so I had to move $2 from the UK over to the Far East Command, so they have, like I said, even more money now. The Anzac, they're just going to finish their light carrier and build a fighter, and that's it for their turn. Pretty simple. All right, we'll talk about the French here in a minute. So let's come over here and let's go ahead and start with our combat moves. So the first is that this light cruiser and transport off of NC Zone 147 off of New Caledonia are going to move 1, 2, and attack the Solomon Islands. So they get 1 bombardment, and then they get 2 Marines trying to land. That's the first one. Second one, I guess I didn't put it there, but we're going to try to convoy the Japanese with the British sub in Sea Zone 88. Okay, that's the second battle. Third battle is we're going to push into northern Iran. So we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry. 5 infantry. An artillery and a motorized. And they'll be supported coming out of Maharashtra with a fighter and a medium bomber, because that's all I can really think to do with them. All right, those are non-combats. That's good. I know I do have a fleet here in 132 with 2 infantry that I could go after West Timor, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait. All right, other battles. So here's the big stuff. So we are declaring war on Spain. So that's declaring war on a neutral by the Allies. So the U.S. is going to pay $10 to the bank. So instead of, let's see, I had them with 86. So they're going to go down 10 to 76. All right. U.S. will keep continuing to bankroll that. So first is that we're hitting every territory in Spain, and so whatever's left over at the end will align to Russia. So first, we're going to take this airborne out of northern Algeria. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and land in Leon, Castile, unopposed. And then I'm just going to go show that he would go 5, 6, 5, 6, 7 into southern France. That's where he will land. So that one is unopposed, and it's worth 1 IPP. So the UK will go from 26 to 27, and they had gone from 29 down to 26 when they had to give some territories back to the FEC and Dutch East Indies because of, I guess, what was decided with that. Next, we're going to move 1 infantry from Gibraltar into Andalusia, and we'll just take that with no battle. We're going to move a mountain infantry from Gibraltar into, what is that? Murcia, Valencia. So that one's not worth anything. Next, we're going to take, I might need to get a piece here. We're going to take 1 infantry out of Picardy, and we're going to take the Anzac transport. He's going to go 1, 2 into Sea Zone 34 and land in Asturia, Navarre. It's not worth anything. And then lastly, the 2 airborne assaults. So I've got an air transport with an airborne that here in London. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he can move 7. So he will move 6, 7 back into southern France. I'm going to stick it there now. So that's 1 airborne. And then in Paris, I've got an additional 3 air transports with 3 airborne. And they're going to go 1, 2, 3. Actually, I guess they don't want to go over the fighter. 1, 2, 3. Drop off those, and then they'll just go 4, 5, 6, whatever, back to southern France. So we're getting 5 air transports in southern France at the end of this. So that's, grab these 3 paratroopers out of there. So there are 4 paratroopers going into Madrid. So all of this will be supported by some fighters. So we have, I know there's not an infantry on top of that. I'll get one in a minute when I start to consolidate. We have these fighters here that are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they can't read back. So it has to be the fighters out of here. Just trying to remember how I had this split in my mind. All right, so we got these fighters in Paris. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I think I may have made a mistake in talking with, and we will take the tactical bomber too. So from there they would go 1, 2, 3. They're off an air base. They can go 4, 5 back into southern France over the top of that fighter, because that fighter battle will happen first. I think I misstated when I was talking to them, and I said my numbers of, I said 4 fighters going into Madrid when I talked to Fighting Irish, but it's actually 3 fighters and a tactical bomber. But anyways, so we'll put the tactical bomber and the 3 fighters in there. Let's see, there's 2. And of course I chipped all these out because I was trying to save space. So there's 3. All right, but then also Catalonia is going to be attacked they'll be attacked with not the 2 fighters from there. Fighters from here can go, get it right, 1, 2, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and land in southern France. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Save that seaplane over here. 4 fighters that are coming that way. So those 4 fighters are going to Catalonia. And with them from southern France, off of the 5th Task Force, is coming 4 infantry. All right. The next, I think that covers all of it. And obviously I'm going to go around Madrid first. So the units in Madrid are -1. And then also the, I talked to Fighting Irish and he did not want to scramble the fighter in because it would be -1 when it goes. So he'd rather try to take a fighter off over here. Next is we're going to attack this northern Italy major factory with this heavy bomber. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he can move 7. He'll end up going back into Paris, and he will be escorted by the remaining 2 fighters out of Paris, who will also be returning to Paris. All right. That's all of that. I think we are good. I'm going to try to clean up these air transports that are everywhere to get our 5 back there. But okay, let's try. Oh, and then I forgot the last thing I wanted to do. So I need 3 transports, or I could do 2 transports. Yeah, let's do that. No, you know what? We won't worry about it. Not yet. Okay. I'm done. So let's go over here to the battle board, zoom into it, and start rolling. And it's 13 minutes and I haven't even started rolling yet. All right, so we're going to go right to left, same way we did. So first will be the Solomon Islands. So we've got a bombardment with the light cruiser at 1, then 2 Marines attacking militia. So light cruiser bombardment at 1, 8, he misses. I got 2 Marines attacking militia, so black for the Marines. Everything's at a 2. 5, 9, 11. And there's my 2, and he got an 11. So that's a successful battle. We take over the Solomon Islands, and that is Anzac units. So, well, no, it doesn't matter. Solomon Islands belong to the UK, but it's not worth anything. All right, so that one's done. Next, we'll go over to do the convoy in Sea Zone 88. Try to take these off as I'm going along so I can remember. And of course, as always, red is the attacker, +2 for the attacker, and that's pretty good. So we take off 4 out of the 5 IPP on that line because nothing has been taken out this calendar year. So we'll put that on the line. All right, next we're going into northern Iran. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry and a motorized. Plus we're going to get boosted by an artillery. So artillery, first strike at it's in the mountains, so 2 or less. That's a 6, that's a fail. Next we'll take we'll boost the motorized. So he'll attack at a 2, And then we'll get the 5 infantry, 1, 2, 3, in black at 1. We'll get the medium bomber in green and the fighter in red. And why not throw the 2 German infantry in at yellow? Alright, so the medium bomber hit, and one of the infantry hit. That is not a hit, but their 2 infantry for the Germans missed at a 7 and a 9. So we take the territory with no loss. That once again has to go to the Far East Command because they are the closest. They own the closest territory. But it's not actually worth anything. It's only worth my bonus for the my bonus for the UK is +2 for having Iran either neutral or controlled by the Allies. So now all of Iran is Allies. I'll move those planes in non-combat. Next, I guess we need to roll the combat in Catalonia. So that one is 4. It's mountains. So 4 infantry and 4 fighters. So 4 infantry at 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4 fighters. So fighters in red, infantry in black. And oh my gosh, that's terrible. All I hit was 1 infantry hit, and that will kill their infantry because they're fighter. So I didn't hit with the fighter, so it's not going to kill their fighter. So their infantry is dead, but their infantry shoots at a 4 and their fighter at a 6. They both missed. Lucky me. So we'll roll the whole thing again for the attack. And look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's a 1, 2, 6. 6 hits. Really killed them. But their fighter gets 1 more shot. And they get a 12. Wow. So that was a good blank for me. So that one goes to the UK. It's not worth anything, but it does now surround. Madrid. So Madrid has -1 to its defenders. We got a tactical bomber and 3 fighters. So that's a blue and 3 red, plus 4 airborne attacking at -1 for the mountains. So that 2. Tactical bomber hit, fighter hit, and even one of the airbornes hit. So that's good. And then they have a medium bomber in green that will defend not at a 5, but at a 4. And an infantry that will defend not at a 4, but a 3. They both hit. So I end up losing 2 paratroopers. Alright, but I take the territory with the other 2 paratroopers. No, I took the wrong paratrooper, that's why. Madrid is worth 1, so the UK will go up to 28. All right. Then for the battle in, or the strategic bombing of the factory in England. So the veteran chose not to interdict. So there's no interdiction. So we get 3d6 worth of damage. I gotta get 1 more die. All right, so 3d6 worth of damage, and I'm going to go ahead and throw the inherent AA in with it as well. Now the inherent AA shoots back after the damage anyways. All right, so it looks like 9 damage, and the AA missed with a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So we'll put that damage on there underneath the factory. I use orange for 5 and yellow for 1. And I'm knocking stuff over, but all right, we're ready for non-combat. All right, so in England, the strap bomb or the heavy bomber is going to go back to London. The 2 fighters that were there will go back to London. Not London, I'm saying London, Paris. And I'm actually going to set them not on the card because I'm about to move a bunch of stuff. Okay. Then we have a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 infantry. I'll swap out 5 for a 5. 11 infantry that were in London, plus an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that were in Picardy. No, sorry, 11 and 5. So, yep, 11, 16 total that are going to move over into Alsace-Lorraine, or Alsace-Lorraine. So that's 16 infantry there. Rest of that stays the same. Now I've got fighters galore that are going to be going over to southern France. So the ones from Catalonia have to land in southern France because they came from the British Midlands. The ones from Madrid have to go to southern France because they came from whoops, what is that chip from? No idea. I'm just going to stack them up here, and I will probably have to chip them out here in a little bit later. The tactical bomber will head over to southern France. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fighters and a tactical bomber. I have no idea what this chip laying in the middle of the ocean was. I assume I just dropped it somewhere else. There's 1 infantry in British infantry in southern France that's going to go into Alsace-Lorraine, or Alsace-Lorraine. So that makes 17 infantry there. We're also going to... Oh, that was my other battle I forgot. This seaplane can go 1, 2, and attack these Italian subs here. He only gets 1 round to shoot at them, and he only shoots at a terrible... Let's see, what does he attack at? A 3. So, see if we can kill one. And we can't with a 6. So he's just going to go back to the Midlands, because he has to stay within 2. All right. Sorry, I'm just thinking here real quick. So I've still got 4 transports here. They're going to go up here and grab these 5 infantry and bring them down and drop them off in Picardy. All right. The rest of them will all the ships and stuff will stay in the channel like they normally do, or they've been doing. Okay, over here in the Middle East, I have this fighter and this medium bomber that started at the air base in Maharashtra. So they have went 1, 2. So he can go 3 more spaces, the fighter can. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 and land in Syria. The medium bomber, he actually has, he moved 1, 2, so he has 4 more spaces to go. So he will go 1, 2. You know what? He'll just go into Syria as well. Sure. And then I've got an infantry, a motorized, and an artillery that are going to move into South Iran, or Southern Iran. All right. Next, I'm going to move an artillery out of Calcutta to southern India. And the Marine out of Calcutta to southern India. The fleet over here at Java, there is a major port on Java, so they can move 3. They're going to go 1, 2, 3 over here into, just move it like that, into C Zone 85. And they're going to take these 2 infantry with them and drop them off in southern India. Okay. Next. For UK, I think that's it. I don't think they have anything else to do. Anything anywhere else to move, or anything else that they even can move over here. All right. Next, we'll get into place units. So we have 5 infantry that are going into Northern England once again. We have 2 infantry and 2 airborne that are going into London. And the last space in that London factory will produce the French artillery, and he'll go into Normandy. Okay. Next, we have an infantry upgrade and a militia, and they are both going into Gibraltar. So in fact, I just add an infantry. Okay, that's it for England. Next, over to the Far East Command. Oops. So they are going to build a militia and an infantry upgrade, and they're going to do both of them over here in Azerbaijan. So in effect, they just get an infantry. Then they're going to upgrade an infantry to a motorized, which is going to be one of these infantry that just came over from Java. They will also deliver a medium bomber to the KMT, and it will go into Yunnan via the Burma Road. And finally, they will deliver a fighter to the United States. And it will go into San Francisco. Okay. Lastly, since we're using Madman Dan's rules of carrier placement, the Anzac will build their light carrier with their fighter all the way down here in Sea Zone 146. Because I do believe they have, yes, the minor shipyard and a medium factory. So, yeah, that looks good. All right, next is collect income. So we do have wartime economy to roll. And it's going to be 5, so not very much. And their production, they are at 28 for the UK, plus 7 in bonuses. So that's 35. And they will take all 5 of the wartime income. So they end up with 40 for next turn. Okay. The Far East Command, they are at 25. Plus they have 2 in bonuses. So they get 27 for next turn. Plus the 3 that they already had, they actually end up with, the 3 that they saved, they actually end up with 30. And then finally the Far East Command, the Anzac, they are at 8 and they still get their bonus, so they collect just a flat 10. All right, next is France. Tech roll first for France. They do have the potential to finish wartime economy. They're on stage 3. They need a 7 or higher. They get a 2. Bummer. All right, purchases for France. So they are going to try to lend lease a cavalry to the KMT, but they have to go through the Italians. So, oh no, the French aren't at war with the Italians. The Commonwealth declared on the Italians. I'm going to roll an interdiction anyways, because I'm going to assume that as soon as the Italian player heard that I was trying to send something, they would try to interdict, just because they're not happy with the Allies right now. So I'll roll that interdiction anyways, and then maybe I'll send him a message before the video gets to post and ask him if he wanted to declare an interdict. Then the remaining 20, they're going to build 2 artillery, 3 cavalry, and they're going to upgrade 3 infantry to motorized for 1 each. So that's 8 plus 9 is 17 plus 3 is 20. They do have a couple of battles. They're going to oh, hold on. I always gotta look. I always forget the stupid terrain. So, all attack and land use are -1. So I'm not going to do that one. But I am going to do this one. So I'm going to take these 2 infantry in here to attack Cyrenaica. Oh, yeah, it has to interdict because I'm attacking them. Duh. And then I'll take in this fighter going 1, 2, 3. He'll have 1 movement remaining. Yeah. Forgot about the stupid desert territory. And that, I believe, is the only French attack. All right. So, let's roll that one. 2 at 1 and 1 at 6 versus 1 at 4. That is a motorized, right? Yeah, motorized at 4. So I will do the 2 at 1 in black, the fighter at 6 in red, and the motorized at 4 in yellow. Whoops, that was an 11. Everything missed. A 2, a 6, an 11, and a 9. Let's try it again. He hit, and I missed. Wow, that stinks. One more round, and finally hit him, and he missed. So the French will take that territory from the Italians. So this guy's dead. This guy's dead. That's over. And for some reason, I don't have a French roundel. And Cyrenaica is worth 1. And this fighter has to only move 1. I did not plan this very well. He has to land in West Egypt. All right. Other non-com. Oh, let me change the income. French goes to 20. Italians go to 12. All right. So the French are going to move their entire stack that they have in Paris over to Alsace-Lorraine. So we take off that militia and add another chip to their militia stack that was in Paris. Let me chip that out as well. The airborne and the air transport will actually stay in Paris. All right, but everything else we added to these. What's that? 17 French infantry in Alsace-Lorraine. All right. So of the fighter, we'll move into Paris. Paris, since he can scramble from there. And there's my 3-plane scramble out of Paris. Other non-combat moves. Yes, oh, jeez, you couldn't even see any of that. Anyways, you get the idea. And then I've got 3 infantry and a motorized from Iran. They're going to move into Syria. Oh, and there's I forgot, this artillery that we were just lend-leased. That will move over rail over into Alsace-Lorraine as well. All right, let's I think that's it for movement. Let's place units. So I've got 3 motorized motorized upgrades. So these 3 infantry that are in Alsace-Lorraine are going to become motorized. So we'll end up with 4 motorized there in Alsace-Lorraine. Then I've got 2 artillery and 3 cavalry that will go into Paris. I'm just going to stack them up like that. Lastly is I have this little lone cavalry that needs to try to get from. I tried to get shortest path. I could not get shortest path anywhere that does not have to go through this. So there is interdiction in this C-zone, C-zone 80. I'm trying to deliver it to Yunnan, so this is why I chose such a cheap unit, just in case it doesn't get through. So I need to roll a red die and a black die. Red is the attacker. If red is the attacker, the interdictor. So if red is higher than the black, then it's eliminated. If it's equal or lower, then it passes through. And it's a 2 versus a 6, so it passes through, and is delivered to Yunnan. Yeah. All right, let's look at our income for the French. French are at 20. They have 3 in bonuses, so they collect $23 to use next turn. Okay. All right, that is it for the Commonwealth and France turn. Something new that was asked to be done was to review all the units at the end of the turn. So if you don't want to watch, please feel free to turn it off. But I'm going to review all the all the Commonwealth and French units for the folks I'm playing with. All right, here we go. I don't think I need to review what's in the channel. Well, 2 light carriers, a coastal defense ship, a battle cruiser, 3 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, 4 UK transports, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 destroyers, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and that's all UK. And then for the French, a transport, a sub, a destroyer, and a heavy cruiser. In Scotland, 1 militia. Northern Ireland, 1 militia. Northern England, 5 infantry. British Midlands, an AA gun, 2 fighters, an air transport, and 1, 2, 3, 4 Marines. And actually, you know what? I'm going to move 1 of those Marines up to the Midlands, so I have 5 in the Midlands. All right, in London, I have 2 paratroopers, 2 infantry, and 4 Marines. In Picardy, I have 5 infantry. In London, I have a heavy bomber, 2 UK fighters, a French fighter, a French transport, a French airborne, 2 French artillery, 3 French cavalry. In Alsace-Lorraine, I have 17 UK infantry, 3 French artillery, 4 French motorized, and 4 French militia. In southern France, I have a U.S. fighter, 3 U.S. infantry, 1 U.S. light tank, 5 UK air transports, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 UK fighters, and a UK tactical bomber. Catalonia, 4 UK infantry, Asturia Navarre, 1 UK infantry, Leon Castile, 1 airborne, Madrid, 2 airborne, Andalusia, 1 infantry, Murcia Valencia, 1 mountain infantry, Gibraltar, 1 infantry, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I did wrong. 2 of the fighters from Madrid were supposed to go to Gibraltar. Okay, so sorry, it's 3, 4, 5 UK fighters in southern France, 2 in Gibraltar. All right, keep going. 1 militia in Malta. One thing I forgot to do was change the Balearic Islands to Russian, Spanish Morocco to Russian, Spanish Sahara to Russian, and I think the Canary Islands to Russian as well. Sorry about that. Morocco, 2 French infantry and a French militia. Northern Algeria, 2 French infantry. Tunisia, 2 French infantry. Cyrenaica, 1 French infantry. Western Egypt, a French fighter and a UK militia. Eastern Egypt, 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry and 3 militia. Transjordan, 1 militia. Cyprus, 1 militia. Syria, a UK medium bomber. You can't even see. Jeez. Syria, a UK medium bomber and a UK fighter. French militia, 3 French infantry and a French motorized. Down here in Abyssinia, still got a French militia. Some British Somaliland still got a UK militia, and South Africa you still have a UK militia. Azerbaijan, UK or where FVC doesn't matter. Infantry and a militia. Northern Iran, 5 infantry, a motorized, and an artillery. Southern Iran, an infantry, a motorized, and an artillery. Aden, 2 militia. Sea Zone 85, 2 battleships, a destroyer, and a transport. Southern Iran or Southern India, an artillery, a marine, a motorized, and an infantry. Calcutta, an AA gun, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 militia. Still got a Gurkha in Burma, and in Malaya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 militia there as well. Oh gosh. Still got a sub in 88. I got 2 UK infantry up in Yunnan. They came up from Hong Kong. Hong Kong has 1, 2, 3, 4 militia. Keep going, I guess. Anzac has I don't know if I said the Anzac transport that's over there in Sea Zone 34. Should have said that. I don't know if I did. But Anzac has 2 infantry in Dutch New Guinea and 2 militia in New Guinea. They've got a light cruiser and a transport in Sea Zone 127 with 2 Marines on the Solomon Islands. They've got an infantry and 2 militia on New Zealand. In Sea Zone 146, they've got a fighter and a light carrier. And in Sydney itself, they've got 1, 2, 3 militia, a motorized, an artillery, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry. Okay, I think that is it for the Commonwealth and France. If there's any questions about what I have for units, please give me a shout. But appreciate it. Cheers.